All right, in this video, we're going to answer the questions that you've been asking us, and that is, when is it the right time to move? When should you move to San Luis Obispo, California? So we're going to try to get some answers to you to help you out, save some time and money as you're researching San Luis Obispo, trying to figure out when you should move over here, what details you need to pay attention to that's going to make the smooth move over here. So we're going to get to it, and we're going to get to it right now. Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're coming back, we're glad to see you here. Thank you for being part of our Central Coast community. And in this channel, we talk about real estate, lifestyle, and everything in between, trying to help you save some time and money by giving you some information to help you figure out where you want to land here on the Central Coast and its surrounding areas. So we talk about San Luis Obispo, San Luis Obispo County, and everywhere around that. So we're getting calls from people just like you trying to figure it out. So feel free to reach out, give us a call, text, email, day, evening, weekend, it does not matter. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos, because we're working really hard to get you the information. And then hit that like button, because it really helps people just like you searching for the information. You can leave us a comment that helps us figure out what it is that you want to know about. And we're going to go make a video about that if we can for you. So we need to know what you're looking for. So in this video, we're going to talk about the things that you need to be aware of as you're trying to figure out when it is the right time for you to move here to San Luis Obispo. Okay, so let's answer the first thing that we get asked is, does the weather affect the move to San Luis Obispo? Well, again, our weather is pretty sunny and blue skies over 300 days out of the year. So on our end, it's not going to be such a big issue for the move as far as weather is concerned. And, you're going to have to evaluate your end of the move. Is there a time that is more expensive to be moving in your area? Or is it going to be snowing in your area or raining more in your area? Or the kids in school? Or is the job situation happening where you're timing this all? So as far as the weather's concerned, moving to San Luis Obispo most any time of the year is going to be an okay thing. It's going to be a little bit busier during the summertime, perhaps, because it's more tourism. And if you're, driving over here, we do have, a tourist season, if you will. So summer times will get a little bit busier because kids are out of school. We have an influx of tourism visiting our area. So that will impact you to some extent. Depending on where you end up landing, some of the roads could be tight, and, parking is a situation or something that's impacting where you're moving, then that's something that might be just kind of a pain to deal with, but not going to really hinder any progress for your move. So again, the weather is pretty delightful most of the whole year round. So you're going to be okay weather-wise to move over here in San Luis Obispo at any time that you are having to make that transition. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to have to factor in as you're deciding when the best time is to move to San Luis Obispo is kind of getting a feel for the moving companies. So the moving companies, they have to kind of give you the rate that they're going through at the moment, because gas prices are changing, and there's, maybe some certain times of the year that they're busier on their end, as we're experiencing so many different unique shifts in our housing market on all avenues. You're really going to want to check with the moving company what their criteria is, how much of a deposit they need, what it is, their specifics for each moving company. So as I'm making this video, I'm happy to share with you any of the companies that our clients have used. And that changes too, only because sometimes some companies are delivering better than others. So I would just encourage you text us or email us, and depending on when you're looking at this video at that time, we'll give you our recommendations. We like to be loyal to the people that are giving the good customer service to our clients. But unfortunately, that is an industry it just depends on what it is you're looking for. Is it pricing? Do you want to have insurance? Do you just need some help when you get here? There's so many different details, and we have resources for things for you. We even have people that can take things to the dump for you, and then there's a cost for that. So there's different things that we can help you figure out. And again, just depending on where you're coming from and what's going on with gas, I think, and these particular companies, you're going to have to really pinpoint, get some estimates, depending on the time of year that you're looking to make your move over to San Luis Obispo will depend on the pricing for your moving company. So that's something that you should really factor in as well. When is the best time? If it's a financial thing that you need to have dialed in, then that's going to play a part. If you just want the best, get it done, you don't care, then there's that factor. So, reach out to us and we'll give you some names when you're ready. Happy to help with that as well, from that end to this end, or anything that you need in that avenue. You need to factor in what's going on in the financial industry to try to figure out your move. Perhaps that could be a factor for you that could weigh heavily. So for example, depending on what the rates are doing in that time that you are trying to time your move, that can impact your move, and that can impact what you're doing on our end as well. So, if the rates could be a little bit higher, then you might have a better ability of negotiations on this end, and that can make the move a little bit more easier for you on negotiating some things with the seller to perhaps get some things in the garage or things of that nature. And that also might impact your sale on your end to get that purchase over here on our end. So that could be a factor on when it would be the best time for you to move to San Luis Obispo, is what's going on in the financial arena, because as we're seeing currently, it's up and down, and as it fluctuates throughout the years and the months, and just right now it's just changing so dramatically on the daily and weekly that could be a factor for you to figure out when it really will be the best time for you to move over here to San Luis Obispo. Now there's another factor also, is that if you're doing perhaps some sort of investment thing where you're maybe not necessarily moving yourself but your money, there'd be a 1031 exchange that you could participate in here. And generally at the end of the year, when people haven't had too much movement or activity on their sale because there's days on market, that could be an opportunity for you to come over to look at investment properties here on the Central Coast in San Luis Obispo. So that could be another factor for you to consider, is what's going on in the financial arena. So again, that's reaching out to a local professional here in our area, a broker like myself or anyone else that you've been referred to here local that knows what's going on, to tell you and guide you a little bit on that, to make it a smoother transition for you. It's a big deal. It's a big decision. It's one of your biggest transactions, financial transactions for you. So, you really need to have some great guidance for you to help that transition over here on the Central Coast. All right. So one of the biggest factors that you might want to consider on when is the best time to move to San Luis Obispo or in California. So here in San Luis Obispo, we do impounds for your taxes depending on when you close, what month of the year. So taxes, your property taxes are due in December and April. So if you're closing closer to December or April, your lender, if you're financing, needs to collect the impounds, the taxes from you. So that means you're going to have to bring in more liquid funds to close the gap on your closing date. So it's a little confusing because you're paying your mortgage in arrears, that money needs to come off the top and be paid and put into an account to be distributed out. So we have a chart that we can get you, and that's just something that when you're making your move over here, we give you what's called a buyer's net sheet from the escrow company, or we can do it out, we can pencil it out for you. But it's prorated. Sometimes that can be a hit for people. So if you've got some tight numbers, we really want to be aware of that. So there's just some impounds for your property taxes that need to be accounted for if you're moving closer to, December or April. So it's one thing or another. I mean, they're going to come out either way. It's going to maybe come out of your pocket liquid funds, that's going to be part of your lending process. So that's something that you would discuss with your lender, the impounds for your property taxes. And again, that number is 0.075 as an average to calculate your property taxes. And there's usually a little bit of an assessment done as well after the transaction's done. So there's a couple of financial things that you need to be aware of as well. I don't think it should impact you too much, but again, that could be a factor for you. So I just want to make you aware of that, and we can discuss that a little bit further as you're getting closer to, really pulling the trigger, making the move over to San Luis Obispo or anywhere around San Luis Obispo. So that is something that you need to factor in. Okay, and so, being a mom myself, one of the factors you might want to figure out as you're trying to figure out when the best time is for you to move over to San Luis Obispo. So if you've got a family, you got to kind of time the schooling system and applications and getting your child into school. So that might be a factor for you to, try to do it before school starts. So that would be, July, so that your child's starting school here in August. Of course, there's private schools, so those schedules could be different. So we are the Lucia Mar School District. I have a whole nother video about the schools and all that, and links to all of the schools available in our county. So that might be another video you might want to look at that's done in extreme detail for you. But again, if you're a family and moving into the area, that whole timeline of getting your child enrolled and not too stressed out to get into school might be a factor for you. So just reach out and we can help you with that as well. Okay, so again, when is the best time for you to move to San Luis Obispo? Well, it's such an individual thing that, we just have to have a conversation with a professional as you're making your way over to the Central Coast and San Luis Obispo. We're here to help. Any professional will give you some insights. We want to make sure the roads are okay. There's nothing, some big construction that might hinder or slow you down. I mean, that would just be a longer time to get over here, but nothing that should probably preclude you from making the move. Again, our weather is just so nice 300 days out of the year. So weather shouldn't impact your move on our end. So, just evaluate what's going on your end of where you're coming from. And, these things can be worked out. The moving companies can be a little dicey just seeing where they're at in the cost. Gas is just outrageous right now. So hopefully that won't be too much of a hit for you, depending on what you've got to move over here. All right, friends. So the only way that we can help you find that sweet spot here in San Luis Obispo or its surrounding areas is you've got to reach out. You got to give us a call, email, text, day, evening, weekend. It does not matter, because we have your back when you're moving to the Central Coast. So until the next video, we'll catch you later.